In Arcane, we've gotten an absolute metric ton of stuff, but one of the cooler things to me is the Firelights. And for those who don't know, these guys have actually been introduced in the second chapter of Arcane. Now, if you have not watched chapter 2 yet, then click off this video because, of course, we are going to be going into spoilers for the second part, the Act 2 of Arcane. So if you have not watched episodes 4 to 6 yet, then hey, this video is not going anywhere. Click off of it, go watch those episodes, and then come back, because today we're going to be breaking down who the leader of the Firelights actually is. And it's actually really obvious once you think about it enough. And also, I will be having a separate video about why Vander is not going to be Warwick. So if that's out by the time that this video is out, it'll be in the top right corner of the screen. But if you're watching this before that, then let's actually jump into the leader of the Firelights. Now, a lot of you guys may have actually heard this theory by this point, but the best theory that we have, and I think that this one is 100% accurate, is that the leader of the Firelights, the main guy with the mask, is actually Ekko. Now, there are a ton of reasons why, but I'm going to be showing you guys all of them, including one that really no one else has found, and I feel like I'm the first person to have found it. But let's actually start getting into the evidence. Now, to start it off, I can't really show you guys that many scenes from this, because, guys, I'm not Necrit. If Netflix decides that they don't like me taking screenshots of their show and they want to copy strike my channel, there's not much I can do about it because I'm a smaller YouTuber. So unfortunately, I'm just going to be using these really low quality shots that I've gotten from like re-uploads just so that my channel does not get deleted. I know that Netflix probably wouldn't do that, but hey, erring on the cautious side here, not trying to get the channel taken down. But in the first scene that we see the Firelights leader, you can actually see that he has a pocket watch, and that is literally the first thing that we see about him. Now, along with that, he also is carrying a baton, and for those who don't know, that is Ekko's weapon of choice in League of Legends. Of course, that's the weapon that he uses to whack people, and obviously, that's how he does all of his damage. Or technically, it's his third hit passive, really, that does all the damage, but that's besides the point. Now, the reason why this stopwatch is so critical is obviously because Ekko is a champion and a person that is kind of based around time. And this is going to keep reoccurring, and we're keep going to be seeing more things about this. So let's actually continue getting on with the evidence that I found. Now, the second thing that we have is that the first line that Ekko had in Act 1 of Arcane, we're doing a little bit of a throwback here, but the first line he had was something to the tone of, "I only need a few seconds," or something like that. It was basically just showing us all that that is the Ekko that we know, and he was talking about time, which is, of course, what his ultimate is all about. Now, the first line that we hear out of the Firelights leader in Act 2 of Arcane is, "We only have 5 minutes." Now, this sentence is then followed by him saying some random stuff that I did not quote because it's kind of irrelevant to what we're looking at here. But basically, he's talking about how they only have 5 minutes left before those crystal things actually wear out. But again, it's looking at the time aspect. It is the first line that we hear out of them. And of course, he's got his little voice changer thing. So we have no clue who it is, right? Obviously did that on purpose just to make it so that we're not entirely sure who this character is. But after this video, you're going to be almost 99% sure that the leader is Ekko. So that is probably my favorite piece of evidence here, that the first thing he says is, "We only have 5 minutes. He's talking about time yet again. And this also kind of contrasts what he was feeling in the beginning of Act 1. In Act 1, he had a sense of security, and he said, "I only need a few seconds." It shows that he's a lot more secure in his current surroundings. In Act 2, though, of course, he's now a vigilante that's trying to stop Silco from basically ruining the entire underworld of Zaun and blowing up all of Piltover. So, of course, he's gonna be a little bit less confident in himself here, and even though that's not the exact context that it's in, I still find it to be a pretty good analogy that we actually have here, is that the 5 minutes is a little bit of a less confidence from Ekko, whereas when he's younger, he only needs a few seconds. Now, hopefully, in Act 3, we actually see this confidence get restored back to Ekko once he actually has his hands on that Chemtech crystal, or what is it called? Chemtech gemstone, and then he'll actually be able to build his Z resonance drive, which of course will then allow him to be super overpowered and just rewind back in time and, you know, not die. Now, yet another piece of evidence that I found while actually editing this video is that the masks in Benzo's shop from the first act of Arcane, when we actually get the glimpse of Ekko peeping in on the meeting between the Enforcers and Vander, the masks that he's looking through look extremely similar to those that are worn by the Firelights. Now, the one on the far left, I mean, I don't even know if you can call that looking similar, because that thing looks exactly the same. My guess is that Ekko polished up a bunch of these after Benzo obviously died, and then he used them to begin his rebellion and create his gang so that he could actually rebel against Silco and try and take back Zaun, which is kind of like his because it was Benzo's and also Vander's. It's really a whole entire complex storyline, and that's why this is such a good show. Riot has so many different aspects all crammed into 6 episodes, but it doesn't even feel crammed somehow. Sorry, though, I digress. Let's get back to the topic at hand. On to our next piece of evidence. The next piece of evidence that we have is that he takes Vi. At the very end of the episode, instead of killing her, you guys probably all noticed this, he said take her instead of letting his goons stab them. Now, obviously, this means that he sees that there is a use for Vi, and if you have no clue what's going on, if you're just a vigilante that's kind of prowling the streets and then you see this Hextech gemstone and you're like, hey, I want that, and you have 2 people fighting against you, it would be in your best interest to take out both of those people. So this just makes a lot of sense that it would be Ekko here, because Ekko obviously has a backstory with Vi. He looked up to her a lot, especially in Act 1. We even hear him say that she taught him some moves, and then he goes on to show Clogger some of those amazing punching skills that we all know and love. So overall, those are the main points of why Ekko is actually going to be the leader of the Firelights. I know it may not seem like a lot in reality, that's just like 3 of them, but along with that, there's a lot of smaller ones that I can't really go that in depth in without screenshots. But basically, just to do an overview, there's a lot of small details on the Firelight's clothing. For example, they seem to have the Time Winder symbol on them. It looks like the hourglass that Ekko actually has on his face in the League of Legends game. So obviously, that's a direct reference right there. And even on some of them, it looks more like a Z instead of the complete hourglass. But guys, it's called the Z Resonance Drive here, people. That's literally the thing that Ekko makes. So where do you guys think the Z actually came from? It might be Zaun, but it might also be the fact that they're foreshadowing not only the time aspect, but also the Z Resonance Drive. Just a little bit of a thing to think about there. Now, along with that, he does have the signature red scarf right below his neck. Now, we're not really sure why Ekko wears this. There might be some significance to it. Maybe it's a memento that he actually has to remind himself of Vi or something along those lines. But it really could be anything. Both the leader of the Firelights, who is 99% Ekko, and then also Ekko have this red scarf. Now, to put the cherry on top of the cake, apparently the voice actor in the end credits scene was actually the voice actor who did his champion spotlight. So the voice actor for the leader of the Firelights is also the voice actor that did Ekko in his champion spotlight. So I don't know what to say about that one, guys. That's just, I mean, that one's pretty obvious there. It kind of seals the deal, and that's why I saved it for last, because it's fun to do some theory crafting, but once you actually get to the end credits part, and you actually know that it's gonna be him, it makes it a little bit less fun, if I do say so myself. But overall, that's why we know that Ekko is going to be the leader of the Firelights, and I am super psyched to see him do his giant reveal in Act 3. Hopefully, he'll come out with the Z Resonance Drive and just absolutely time bomb these people out of the face of the planet, and he just destroys Piltover. I mean, I guess not destroy. He's trying to save them right now. He's a vigilante, so a little bit of contradiction there. But overall, sorry, I'm ranting. This has been my explanation for why Ekko is the leader of the Firelights. If you guys actually did enjoy this video and you don't want my channel to get taken down by Netflix, then consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, as that would help me out a ton. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.